What they do, Sniper Crew? It's your boy Sniper J. We back in this motherfucker with another reaction video. You feel me? So Drake done exposed Pusha T. You feel me? So we back in this motherfucker. My dog Flacco finna tell us what the fuck going on, and we about to get into it. Grab your doink if you got one and spark it up.
Drake finally gets revenge on Pusha T after almost a decade. If you guys don't know what's going on, Pusha T got exposed earlier this morning and everybody is discussing it. We'll get back to the video shortly, but I want to let you guys know, just put money, look at it's going to be get patient and downloading the app and for the Wizard to get $10 in Academics TV, who, you know, has been pro Drake for a long time. They were able to get their hands on a 4-minute long audio of Quentin Miller reference tracks for some Pusha T songs. And from my perspective, obviously Drake has something to do with this. Obviously, Drake is feeding this information, because how would these random pages get a hold of a Pusha T and Quentin Miller reference track ensemble, right? Now, the reference tracks that is a part of that audio, right, because obviously we can't play the full thing, are apparently a hook from an unreleased Pusha T track called Real Gone, supposedly from the Daytona session circa 2017 to 2018. There were 2 other tracks that are more unclear, but they are allegedly from a similar time frame. Now, the 2 other tracks people are saying isn't as bad as the first one, because those 2 other ones are apparently just hooks.
The spirit of Pusha on the beast in me.
We can only play about 3 seconds, obviously, because Rock Nation is looking for these videos to strike it. But Pusha T is word for word. Like the Quentin Miller reference track, Pusha T didn't change not a goddamn thing. He rehearsed it word for word. This is the pure definition of what a reference track really is. You wrote the hook and you wrote the verse.
The spirit of Pusha on the beast in me.
But the entire verse, Pusha T rehearsed. Even, you know, checks in the lobby, Pusha T said that as well.
But what's the problem though? A lot of them got ghostwriters. Shit, then even Drake got exposed for having a ghostwriter. So what the fuck is the problem?
Real gonna come out. Pusha T says that as well. The entire verse was written by Quentin Miller, and there's multiple other examples of this. Am I shocked that Quentin Miller is writing for these other folks? I'm not one bit, no whatsoever. I think Pusha T even talked about this at some point, and even Drake alerted us, right, that Quentin Miller were writing for other people, and they threw him under the bus as a scapegoat.
Letting me take the rap for that Casper the ghost shit while you finding all of the loopholes. You niggas move too cold.
First off, nobody cares that Pusha T had ghostwriters. Nobody cares that Quentin Miller wrote for Pusha T, right? This is what people do not give a damn about. They're gonna move the goalposts, of course, because it's not Drake. See, I always thought the Drake situation was always odd to me, because clearly Quentin Miller was working with multiple people in the industry. People was beating on Quentin Miller's door to work with him once they knew that Quentin Miller was the hit maker for Drake. So
yeah,
it's no secret that Quentin Miller had collaborations with a lot of other people. But the reason why this Drake stuff got taken out of proportion and got as big as it got was because a machine was behind it. Think about it for a second, right? Isn't it odd that whenever Drake is rapping about leaving the label, there's always something that pops up? Whenever Drake gets in his mode and start rapping about, hey man, you know, I got 1 album left, then they're gonna have to drop the bag. In 2015, when Drake was rapping about he's about to go independent, this the last one he's turning in, the Meek Mill tweet went out, the beef happened. In 2018, when Pusha T dissed Drake, you know what happened in 2018? Drake was about to get off the label, he had 1 album left. In 2024, Drake was about to get off the label, he had already recouped. And he was about to ask for like $1 billion or something crazy. So, of course, I'm not shocked that Quentin Miller worked with other people. The only reason why people even care that Quentin Miller worked with Drake is because the machine pushed it heavy. Even though I don't think this is too much of a big deal, or I don't feel like the public would treat this like a big deal, other content creators like What's the Dirt and Academics ran to their streams to discuss this and point out the hypocrisy between how people is treating Pusha T and how people once treated Drake.
There's just no way that Pusha T, of all people, King Push, the Clips, Album of the Year, Pusha T, of all people, got ghostwriting allegations, and you're not gonna believe who was with.
Knew that I would be what I became.
Knew that I would be what I became.
You're not gonna believe who was with.
You can't make this up, bro. It's Quentin Miller. I guarantee he's very this, because if he's not this, he has no shame. Now I got me looking back at his discography and thinking, like, did he write any of this? Like, Lord willing, I had that poster on my bedroom wall. as a kid.
But my mama could see.
No, cut it off. I could tell right away that that's Quentin's pen. That's Quentin's pen right there, man. You could tell. You could tell. See, now I can't even, like, Let God Sort Him Out was my favorite album to drop last year, and now, like, there's just an asterisk on this now. Quentin probably wrote for Malice, too, for all we know.
It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin. At the mercy of...
No, seriously. I honestly thought Pusha T was smarter than this. Like, the fact that he would write this when he already got bars from Quentin himself, like, this has to be... No, this is easily one of the worst aging bars I've ever seen. No, but, like, bro, it's different, man. Like, he credited him, man. Sorry, doesn't matter if he's credited. Look, and I'm just a guest in the culture. All I can do is go off, like, past experiences when this happened and, like, how the culture reacted to it. Push's discography's a wash. How we know if he wrote it? Yo, who would have thought Drake just being quiet and saying nothing would cause the most devastation? Because we gotta be honest, it's Iceman year. It's not even Iceman season. All these dudes are crumbling. All of his enemies are dying, and he's not saying. Drake should be quiet more often.
Maybe I'm being anticlimactic here. I don't think that Quentin Miller wrote Pusha T's masterpieces, okay? I don't feel like Quentin Miller had any verse on Let God Sort Him Out. I would hope not, bruh. Because those were some really personal songs. Like, those were some really personal songs, bro. Even, like, the record where Malice and Pusha is, like, both speaking from, like, their mom and their dad perspective and the day their dad passed away. It felt like just things like that. I don't feel like Quentin Miller can write that. I don't feel like Quentin Miller was in the circuit or even in the fold when Let God Sort Him Out was written, right? But nonetheless, though, people is rolling with that narrative now, and I know what they're doing is they're essentially playing the same game that fans of Pusha T, Kendrick, and Meek Mill played, which is because they heard reference tracks for Drake, they discredited Drake's entire catalog.
Yeah.
People were saying, oh, Drake is now disqualified of ever being considered a top 5 or top 10 rapper of all time because of the ghost writing rumors. They're just applying those same standards to Pusha T.
Y'all better chill on Aubrey. Y'all must not know about Drake. Old Drake freestyling Drake, Flunk Flex Drake. Funk Flex Drake. Come on, bro. Stop fucking playing with Drake, bro.
And I understand. Now, Academics also addressed this on his stream. He reacted to an interview that Pusha T did with High 97 where Pusha T is talking about Quentin Miller. Now, Act believes that Pusha T was playing 4D chess by confessing and admitting to working with Quentin Miller a while ago. So whenever reference track comes out, you know, people can't hold him accountable.
Even Quentin. Like,
here we go.
It's crazy because I feel like he's like super talented, right?
I did hear some of his music, which I thought was good.
He's like.
Yeah, I'm watching Pusha's facial expression. He looked guilty. He kind of giving like, let me say this now, because niggas gonna find out later that I kind of was trying to work with Quentin back in the day too.
Extremely talented, actually. You know, I don't even know how me and Quentin even linked up.
So you spoke to him?
I got records with Quentin.
Oh, so he tried to give the admission. Nah,
he's smart.
Pusha T, you good for this one?
Yeah, I got a what is it? Verse one, what is it? I don't know the name of it. Yeah, on one of the projects and everything.
You guys had conversation.
Yeah. But
got it.
No, but listen, nothing.
Nah, Flex. Let him explain.
And the thing about it is like he's talented, and I've watched. He'd be like, "Yo, man, you think you could connect me, such and such?" And I watch people wince when you mention his name.
I
and it's
exchanged
like,
and talked with him in my Twitter DM, and he had expressed he'd like to come for the freestyle. And I said, I'm whenever you want to, my brother. He said, "No, all the side." Yeah. I just want, as we said to me.
Listen.
In hindsight, the people who winced when Quentin Miller's name came up was probably correct to wince. They probably had the best judgment at that point because Quentin Miller couldn't hold water. Quentin Miller wrote for Drake and he went to DJ Drama and played Drake reference tracks. He went to everybody and played everything, right?
Back in the
and
day.
Quentin Miller let the entire beans out the bag and everything got spilled. So yeah, those people were probably correct to wince and say, "Hey, bro, I ain't effing with that dude, bro. He can't hold water." Now, Pusha T, again, which is why this interview here, again, I didn't know it existed. I never watched it. But which is why this interview is so odd. Because if Pusha T entire thing is Casper the Ghost rumors, Drake, you got ghostwriters. If he's so anti-Drake for having ghostwriters, then why was he so pro other people working with Quentin Miller? And why was he trying to hook other people up to work with Quentin Miller? And why did he also use the ghostwriter?
It's looking kind of crazy, Pusha.
That's what I don't understand. Is ghostwriting is bad because Drake did it, and Drake, they said Drake cheated the culture. Drake's like number ones and his hits are art manufactured. He didn't write it. It doesn't count. Then why were they so eager to work with Quentin Miller and put him onto other people? And what Drake did was so terrible. That's what I don't understand. Maybe a Pusha T fan can explain it, or Pusha T can, because he does follow me on Twitter. So maybe Pusha T can explain it.
Just want to comment.
He don't want
the L and go in the booth. Was it open? His open letter? Now, hey.
All right, okay. So, all right, you know, I guess we sat through about like 20 minutes to kind of realize that, yeah, potentially, yeah, Quentin Miller worked with Pusha T. Here's my thing with this whole ghostwriting thing, and I'll just wrap it up by saying this.
Don't say no bullshit.
I think the game, Pusha T, Meek, and everybody else knows that they tried to smear Drake as a guy that was Milli Vanilli, a guy who wasn't talented, a guy who just basically was a ventriloquist.
They tried to play Drake.
Overall, that was unsuccessful. And walking it back to be like, you know what? The reality is, you know, Drake is good. He does write some. He's whatever, but he gets help. That would defeat their whole point.
Man, fuck the bullshit, act. Stop bullshit. And the moral of the story is, y'all gave Drake hell for using a ghostwriter for a couple records. Come to find out, the same people who gave him hell for using the same exact ghostwriter. That's all it come down to. Y'all hypocrites. That's it.
Because their whole point was to say, if we can't compete with him, the only way, you know, it's like saying, if you can't beat somebody in a race, rather than say, I'm going to get better, or just admit that person just flat out genetically better than you, you just say they're cheating. And that is a comforting lie that will make you and everybody else say, oh, okay, now I understand why you can't beat him. And that's what it was with Drake. Like, they could have all came back to be like, yo, listen, all right, yo, a lot of y'all be on Drake dick, like, he be getting help. And Drake kind of admitted that, like, yo, listen, I collaborate with people. That wasn't enough. People wanted to give Drake the fraud card. Like, yo, nothing he does is legit. He's just a complete fraud.
In all fairness, though, the ghostwriting would be cheating if nobody else had ghostwriters. If the culture had the rules of, hey, as a rapper, you can't have ghostwriters, and only Drake had ghostwriters, and Drake was making all these hits while everybody else was taking a year plus to cultivate and harness these vulnerable records and these hits, while Drake was just mass producing it at a production factory because he had 1,000 ghostwriters, then that would be cheating. But this is like the baseball PED argument. You know why? Like, I don't really like care about Barry Bonds and others like using PEDs. You know why? Because everybody else did it, right? It's the baseball PED argument. I can't take away anything from anybody who used steroids when they played baseball during that era, because everybody else used steroids. So if we all use steroids and I'm just better than y'all, then that means I was already better than y'all. Y'all use steroids, I use steroids, we all use steroids, but my natural ability just took me over the edge. Same with Drake, right? He used ghostwriters, you use ghostwriters, y'all all use ghostwriters, but Drake is just better, right? Drake is just better at formulating hit records. So Drake, even though y'all have similar ghostwriters, he just got over the top because of his natural ability. And that's what I think people fail to understand, and that's why they still hate Drake. Do I feel like this Pusha T story is gonna go anywhere? I don't feel like people care about Pusha T ghostwriting in general. I don't feel people care about ghostwriting at all. Right? I feel like Drake kind of took the hit for it, and then after Drake, nobody else cared. You feel me? But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? Do y'all care that Pusha T may have ghostwriters? Let me know, okay? And
let me know, because to be honest, I think everybody got ghostwriters. I think they all got ghostwriters, if we being completely honest, because me being an artist, I sit back and think I have writer's block a lot of the time. I maybe make 5, 6, 7 songs and then have writer's block for a couple of months. So there's no way you pushing album after album after album after album after album, cause everybody get help, bro. And I think we all just need to sit back and accept that. Everybody get help. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Pusha T fans, just accept it. Y'all hated on the man. Pusha T doing the same shit. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. I'm high. I'm overly fried. It's been your boy Sniper J. I'm off this bed. I'm finna go take a nap. I'm fried. You feel me? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Drop a sub, drop a like, drop a comment. Let me know what y'all want to see me react to next. We out of this bitch. Snide.